Hello everyone. Good afternoon everybody. My name is T. Jeevanandam, Assistant Professor in English, Mallareddy Engineering College, Autonomous. So as a part of e-content, the topic I have chosen to deal with voices. Voices. You might wonder because whose voice it is, what is voice. So you may get some doubts, so I'm going to clarify those doubts. So first, voice is not of a human voice, but in fact it is the voice of verb. So this voice of verb indicates the subject of that particular verb, whether it is going to act, going to perform action or going to receive the action. So that is the thing, voice. And here there are voices can be categorized into two groups. One is active voice and passive voice. So, hello. Active and passive. So there are two voices, active voice and passive voice. So you need to understand what is active voice. By the term we can understand something is active, right? So here the verb of that particular subject is active. That's going to make a particular action. So that performs the subject doing action over there. In a particular active voice, subject makes an action. So here, passive voice, the action is being received in this particular passive. So action is not happened over there, but it is passive action is done in passive voice. So in other words, let me tell you very clearly. So in active voice, the subject does the action. So whereas passive voice, subject does the action, but here the object receives the action. So object is a bearer. It acts like a bearer or sufferer. So that is the main difference between active voice and passive voice. So now the question is how to convert a particular active voice into passive voice. So what are the rules and regulations that we have to convert active voice into passive voice? So in order to do so we have, I would like to explain with an example. So here the Raju kicked the ball. So this is active voice. Raju kicked the ball. So when we look at this particular active voice, let me divide this word into some groups. Raju is being subject. So Raju acted as subject. Here kicked is a verb with three form, third form of verb, and here the ball is object. So Raju kicked the ball. So what is passive voice for this particular Raju kicked the ball? So the simple rule is X rule. X rule is nothing but the object will become subject will become object. So that is the X rule will apply over here. So here the object, the ball kicked is a past tense, so we need to use was kicked by Raju. So this is how you need to write passive voice. So by applying X rule over here, right? The ball was kicked by Raju. In both the sentences we have the same meaning almost, but we need to understand the sentence structure differs. So meaning is same, but in fact most of us nowadays people have been habituated or tend to use only active voice. Only active voice we use in our day-to-day life, but passive voice we use very rarely. So when we don't know the author or the one who performs the action, so in certain cases we use passive voice, right? And also while we writing text or writing a particular piece of paper, so we use passive voice over there. So we use passive voice in writing, and also when we don't want to give importance to the one who work over there, the one who performs an action over there. So in such cases we use passive. Now coming to how to convert a particular active voice into passive voice. Let us see the formula. We need to have subject plus be forms. Be forms also can be called as helping verbs. Helping verbs, right? Be forms plus, and we need to take third form of verb V3, and also preposition by will be used, and finally object. This is the formula to change active voice into passive voice. I hope you understand. So this is the formula you need to keep in your mind while you just turning or converting active voice into passive voice. So the first rule already I told you, X rule we need to follow. First thing, X rule. The subject in active voice will become object in passive voice. Object in active voice will become subject in passive voice. And also second thing, that is the X rule. Second thing, preposition by will be added. Preposition by will be added in passive voice. And third thing, third rule, that is verb form. Verb form, we need to take care of verb form. Generally V3, whether it is in V1 or V2, irrespective of the tense, whether it is present tense or past tense, but we need to take V3. Past participle will be can be added in passive voice. And also helping verbs, be forms should be taken care. So because be forms are very important. So be forms generally, when we talk about be forms, we need to little bit discuss regarding tenses, right? So present tense and past tense, future tense. According to traditional grammar, we have three tenses. But nowadays, modern grammar, we have only two tenses, present tense and past tense. Because the tense indicated by particular verb. Generally to indicate tense, that is depends completely on verb, right? So based on verb we say that, so this particular sentence is in present tense or past tense. So based on that we need to understand that, for example, present tense go. Go is the present tense, and went, past tense. And what is the future tense of this particular go? There is no direct future verb. There is no direct future verb. So I can say that there are only two tenses, no future tense. To indicate future, we ultimately depending upon shall or will. So shall or will, we have been depending upon. So let me briefly discuss regarding the be forms that we use in active voice and passive voice. So what are the be forms? We'll look at it from one by one. First we'll take the present tense. Present tense, even present tense further divided into four, right? As you know already. That is the first one, simple present tense, and present continuous tense, present perfect tense, and present perfect continuous tense. So let us look at simple present tense first. Simple present tense. Simple present tense, the be forms that we use here is am, is, are. These are the be forms that we use in simple present tense. So generally be forms based on subject that it takes. So for example, the subject I, first person I am. For example, third person is, he is, she is. And finally second person you are, they are. So that is how we use the be forms over here. This is called subject verb agreement. So based on the subject we need to use appropriate verb or helping verb. So that is regarding simple present tense. And coming to present continuous tense. Present continuous tense. In this present continuous tense, almost the same. When you have continuous tense, so simply we need to add being. Being, because continuous, the process, the action has been continuing. So we have to use being. So this is present continuous tense. And coming to present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. Here you need to use have or has. Have or has been. So this is the be form that you need to use in present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. And there is no passive voice for present perfect continuous tense. Do remember, there is no passive voice for the present perfect continuous tense as well as past perfect continuous tense and finally future perfect continuous tense. And straight away we will move to simple present tense. So this is, guys, simple present tense. Simple present tense, simple past tense. Already we have done with present. Simple past tense. Here past tense only two we have, was or were. Was or were based on the subject. Already I told you that is subject verb agreement. If I, for example, I was, right? For example, plural, they were, you were, right? He, she, it was. So that is, you need to understand here subject verb agreement also. Not only just tenses, you need to understand subject verb agreement. This is in the case of simple past tense, was or were. And coming to past continuous tense. Past continuous tense, same thing. Here also was were plus being. Was were plus being that we use. And okay, that is, guys, past continuous tense, was or were, being. Whenever you find continuous, you can simply add being because it has been continuing. Right? And finally, we'll move to past perfect tense. Past perfect tense. So, if you do remember present perfect tense, there we had used as or have been. Here simply, as it is past, had been we use. Had been can be used in past perfect tense as a be form when we convert active voice into passive voice. And however, there is no passive voice for past perfect continuous tense as I discussed, right? So now move to simple future tense. Simple future tense. Here simple future tense, generally we indicate future shall or will, right? So already shall and will is there, and additionally we'll add be form be, shall be or will be. So this is, we need to understand, shall be or will be that we use in simple present, simple future tense. And coming to future, here we need to understand one more is, we don't even have this future, there is no passive voice for future continuous tense also. There is no passive voice for future continuous tense. And third one, future perfect tense. future perfect tense. So here the formula, B form that we have, shall have or will have been. Shall have been or will have been. These two are the be forms that we use in future perfect tense. And finally, there is no passive voice for future perfect continuous tense. So these are the be forms that we use in active voice to make passive voice. So I hope you understand. And coming to, so what if there are certain typical situation I would like to explain over here. So first case I would like to discuss, if there are subjectless sentences. So how to convert into passive voice these subjectless sentences. So when you find subjectless sentence, so in order to convert a particular active voice into passive voice, you need a subject, right? So, but there are certain situations where you cannot find subject. So, for example, so post this letter. Post is verb. This letter is an object. So here we don't have proper subject. So what to do in such kind of situations? So for that, I would like to mention a particular formula, that is let plus object plus be form be and verb third form. This is the formula that can be used in subjectless sentences. When you want to convert subjectless sentences into passive voice, so this is the formula that you need to use. Let plus object plus be form be plus V3. So when we apply this to this particular statement given here, let and object is this letter, and be form B, and finally V3. So here V1 is there, post, and when we convert into V3, that would be posted. So let this letter be posted is the answer for this particular active voice. So this is active voice and this would be passive voice. I hope you understand. So not only this, there are many examples. You do it fast. And same, when you don't find subject, this is the formula that you can use and convert this active voice into passive voice. So in these subjectless sentences, sometimes we do find the word please. So what if you find the word please and active voice? Please save him. Please save him. So this is the verb save. Him is the object over here. So in order to please, so you have to write you are requested to. Please can be replaced by or replaced with in order you are requested to. So here you are requested to. This is you need to write instead of please, and you need to write the complete sentence without please. So save him. You are requested to save him. So that's what you need to understand and keep in your mind whenever you find please in subjectless sentences. So you have to write this is you are requested to. So that is you need to remember. This is one case, and one more case I would like to discuss with you. So that is regarding objects. When you find two objects in a particular active voice, and what do? So that would be the question now. So when you find two objects, so either of them can be made as subject. So for such kind of active voice, there are two passive voice can be possible. Two passive voice can be possible. So let me explain with an example. Raju gave me a letter. Raju gave me a letter. So this is subject and this is verb. Me is an object and a letter is another object over here. So for this kind of active voice, so there are two passive voice can be possible. The very first one, first object I'll take me, object is I, right? I gave is a past tense. So past tense, simple past tense. So for simple past tense, what are the be forms that I have discussed? So was or were can be used in simple past tense. So here I generally goes with was, I was, right? I was, gave, V2 actually it is. So we need to have V3, verb third form, given. I was given a letter. I was given a letter by whom? By Raju. So this is one thing. And also we can take another object. So another object is a letter. A letter, same thing. A letter is again singular. So we'll take was. If it is plural, if it is letters, verb will be taken, right? So here letter was given. A letter was given to me. A letter was given to me by Raju. This is another. So like this, when you have two objects, so either of them can be made as subject in passive voice. So that is the thing you need to remember. And coming to, what if you have this particular model verbs? Model verbs. We'll see one model verb. Model verbs, when it comes with V1. Model verbs, when it comes with V1, that you need to understand. So for example, they should do it.